The city of Toronto, it's been a talking point from Masai Ujiri to just fans as well, where everybody's very proud to have the NBA Finals there. You've been there for some time now. What's been the most enjoyable aspect of your time in Toronto?
It's such a fantastic city. Like having essentially, I think I mentioned this on a podcast. Like I joined a gym at the University of Toronto, like the Hard House. Like I don't stay downtown. I think where a lot of the sports writers stay. I stay up on Bloor, just so I can enjoy the neighborhood life. And I'm right there on the 1 and the 2 trains, and it's kind of this beautiful combination of cosmopolitanism, but like, I mean, what I like about it is I find it very efficient. I mean, it's just when you start kind of living in a city day to day and you start taking the trains and walking the sidewalks and using the running trails and, in the lower Don Valley or, just kind of walking the streets, you just, the parks I use, you kind of get a sense for, is the city well managed? And like, yeah, it's efficient. And to say nothing of like the dining options, and just that I think it is fundamentally a neighborhood city. And it's unfortunate. I think so many people kind of get caught in the entertainment district, which is fine. I mean, but I think if you really want to kind of see where the real magic is, you can kind of go out to, I rented a car between I think 6 and 7 of the Philly series, and spent the evening out in Scarborough and Markham, and like just because I love the food, and it's just it's such an it's such an interesting, and it's kind of a cliche to say a mosaic, but it is. I think it's North America's most cosmopolitan city. And I think that just I just even getting to wander up and down Bloor, which I just did a million times just because it was like my street. It's just like kind of, that's where I stayed, and that's where the laundry place I found was. And and you wander into the BMV Books and picked up a paperback for like $8. And, that's where my coffee joint was. That's where the crappy 7-Eleven is at Spadina. That's the worst 7-Eleven in Toronto. But it's mine. But it's mine, damn it. It's just kind of, I just absolutely love the time. And it's kind of just still kind of scratching the surface. Like there's probably more to explore. And, I didn't do enough of the arts. I wanted to get to the documentary film festival in late April, and I just didn't, the dates didn't really work well for the series. And, so like arts is a place that I'd want to do next postseason if I'm up there again. And, the way I kind of did food this series, but it's just such a fantastic, livability is hard in a metropolitan area above 6 million people. Like it just is. Like we aren't very good at it, and somehow Toronto is really good at it. And man, my last Sunday in town, and that first really nice day, I took the ferry across in the morning to the islands, and then ended up running for 5 miles, along the lake, and that was just really, man, that's one of my favorite Sunday mornings ever. And like, oh, by the way, and the ferry runs every 15 minutes, and you're back, and like I was in my hotel room by noon, and at lunch at 1. So it's just, again, it's sort of this, it's vast, but also just manageable, and I just think that's it's a rare quality a lot of cities don't have, and because it's just hard to produce. It's hard to have a gazillion people of different origins and backgrounds and industries sort of cohabitating a place and making it run efficiently, and it's clean, and people generally treat each other the right way and are polite. And oh, by the way, we have all this food, and it's affordable, relatively speaking, I think, to a lot of big American metropolises on the coasts. That was the other kind of revelation. And anyway, it's just been great. Like I just absolutely, like my love affair with Toronto. I've always enjoyed dropping in for 3 or 4 nights, but when you sort of kind of set up shop there for an entire postseason, you really just kind of, you dig deeper, and it's just fantastic.